Welcome back to Justice League Odyssey, right here at the Comicstorian channel. This is where we take some of your favorite comic books, we break them down into digestible bites, and we read them back to you in a poor man's dramatic fashion. When we last left off, we discovered that all of them were gods out in space, and Darkseid had somehow set this situation up in an area of space known as the Ghost Sector. They're now out there seeking answers as to what Darkseid is trying to do and what his ultimate plan is, and this is leading them to Tamarin, Starfire's homeworld, where her evil sister Blackfire is waiting. Let's get into these issues. Today we're going to be covering 6 and 7 of Justice League Odyssey. Those who survived the initial catastrophe said that it happened without warning. They were wrong. There had been warnings for trillions of years, prophecies and predictions and speculations made from 1,000 different cultures. Most were ignored or dismissed as a myth. Only one being in all reality had believed them, Darkseid. And Darkseid is displeased. Within the Ghost Sector lays the planet Aelon, a primitive backwater world. For the past several days, the Inuit tribals have served as guides, leading Darkseid to this particular remote and sacred site, but no longer. Darkseid now fights them as they suddenly manifest combat technologies advanced enough to wound a new god, and that is far beyond Inuit capabilities. As the Inuit surround Darkseid, they all begin to say the same thing: deny Darkseid, prevent Sepulchre. But they say it in a very specific way and tone. Darkseid laughs to himself, stating that this must be a gift left by Brainiac, a unique weapon system set to guard the prize. However, Darkseid will not be stopped. Even though Darkseid should be able to overcome this fight, something does stop him though. Something happens. A detonation, a release, very distant beyond the Ghost Sector, but of such magnitude that it sears his other box-enhanced senses. Reality shatters in the event that he has been striving for his whole life, the one that he's been trying to prevent or at least outrun, has just taken place. But moments before this, just within the vicinity of the planet Tamarin, in Brainiac's skull ship, Green Lantern, Jessica Cruz, who accidentally got swept up into this, shouts that they are not doing this. They are turning around now. Darkseid has been using all of them. They were duped into even coming here. And worse yet, he is rebuilding his seat of power. A new apocalypse, and they are giving him everything that he needs to rebuild it, and they can't even see it! Starfire dismisses Jessica's words, stating that they are not leaving before they visit Tamarin. Jessica says that she gets it. Brainiac took Tamarin and she wants to save it. But this is bigger than them now. They need the Justice League. They need to find and stop Darkseid. Cyborg stops her before she can continue, telling her that they know, which is why they are going to Tamarin. Darkseid is there. The machine world's mother box showed them as much. They have to stop him. Besides, there is no exit. The maelstrom surrounding the Ghost Sector cannot be traversed, so they have to do this their way. Jessica scoffs, stating that she will find a way back home on her own then, and once she does. But at that moment, there's a shockwave of energy throwing the ship off course. Even though he doesn't understand it, Cyborg has seen it before. It reads like the totality. Source energy from beyond the wall. Back on Aelon, Darkseid is fighting his way through his injuries, through his pains. Because he is on automatic, his mind is elsewhere. He sees what the other box is showing him, the cascading collapse of the source wall, a bow wave of energy hammering across the hyper-continuum. It's the biggest event since the birth of the multiverse, a spectacle that he might have relished under different circumstances. And Darkseid knows what to follow will still be bigger, far worse. The end of all things, a final darkness that he will not permit. He sees the shockwave reaching New Genesis. The world is gone in a blink. Then Apocalypse, its fire pits engulfed. Gone. The new gods are gone. All except Darkseid. Because Darkseid is. And while he draws breath, there is still time. That time is just shorter than he would have liked. Meanwhile, over on Tamarin, the smoke finally clears from the skull ship as 4 heroes check on each other to make sure that they are still alive. Starfire and Azrael get up to check things on the outside, while Cyborg tells Jessica that she might not like it, but they need her right now. They aren't going to stand a chance unless they... Jessica stops him, telling him that it's not that. There is something else preventing her. She hasn't been able to recharge her ring since coming here. She hasn't had access to her battery. She's at about 40%, and every construct drains it further. They cannot rely on her. But before they could try to come up with a plan, Starfire screams from the outside at the sight of her homeworld, broken and burning. She shouts demanding to know who did this. Was it Darkseid? If so, then he shall pay! However, a voice tells her that this destruction was caused by her. She is the one who did this. Starfire quickly looks up at Blackfire with dozens of Tamaran soldiers surrounding, asking, "What? How could I have?" Blackfire points down, stating whether it is a new god or false god, whatever you're calling yourself these days, you did this. Starfire looks up asking where is Darkseid, and Blackfire tells her gone, boomed away once he was done here. Cyborg then steps forward stating that they are here to stop him. And Blackfire asks, really? I highly doubt that. You are nothing more than puppet gods. Darkseid did not do this. The instability of the sector ruined Tamaran. Starfire then asks again, where did Darkseid go, and did she help him? They must know. Blackfire looks away, stating that Darkseid promised to spare Tamaran, to leave her to rebuild this planet, but this? He so generously left her a dying world that was about to burn away. Which is why she must stop Darkseid, stop them. And if she can remove one of those missing pieces, something so vital to Darkseid's plan, then she has no choice, even if it means killing her own sister. You will not leave Tamaran alive, Starfire. Back in Aeolon, the last of Brainiac's weapons is slain, and Darkseid prevails. The next relic is his, another segment of the ancient plan. But unlike the prior relics, there is something about this. There is a voice, something calling to him. Darkseid demands to know who dares, but in his mind he knows. And then something is beginning to manifest. The voices belong to Eschaton, the carrion eaters of the anti-life. It is said that they would come when the fourth world was dying to pick bare the bones of the new gods. Darkseid tells the voices that the other new gods may be gone, but as they can see, Darkseid is. The Eschaton tell him no. And as they skewer him to the ground, they tell him, Darkseid was. Back on Tamaran, Blackfire's soldiers quickly begin their attack, forcing the heroes to shield themselves and take cover. Cyborg calls out to hit back, but only use suppressive fire, clear a path to the ship. And as Jessica puts up her construct, she says that she is trying her best, and Azrael says that these warriors are not going to let them leave. But that's when Starfire says that she came here to save Tamaran and her sister, her own sister. And without another word, Starfire gives into her base urges, allowing the rage to take over, and she begins to rip apart the battlefield. After carving a way to Blackfire, she charges in, stating, "Some welcome, sister! Is this how you treat your own blood?" The two clash, releasing a shockwave, shaking the very core of the planet. Through the struggle, Starfire grabs Blackfire by the throat, asking if this is how it's going to be, how their sibling rivalry will end. But before Starfire could attack, Cyborg throws himself in the middle, splitting the two of them, telling Starfire, "You need to stop now, please!" Soon the light returns to Starfire's eyes, and she asks, What is she doing? Oh, Zale, no! We need to stop all of this! We need to share what information we have about Darkseid to stop him once and for all. Cyborg tells her no. They're leaving right now. There is nothing to be gained from staying. Starfire pleads with him that they need to stay, but Blackfire tells them to go. There's nothing to say. Keep the word of their Dark Master and never return. Once the team takes off, Jessica asks, what? He harvested data from the Tamarans without them knowing? And Cyborg tells her yes. During the fight, he sent out a drone to hack the military database and took the intel that they needed. Tracking data, Darkseid's exit route. They now know where he is. Later on Aeolon, Darkseid groans as he tries to get back up, but as he turns his head, he asks if they came to finish him off. Oh. Azrael asks what the hell happened here. And Cyborg says that he doesn't really care. They're gonna find out what he's been doing to them since they got here. Darkseid lets out a half-hearted laugh as he leans against a tree, stating, "You found only death." Cyborg transforms his arm into a cannon, asking, "Is that a threat?" Darkseid says, "Not for me. They're still here, close, stalking. They'll always return stronger." But as Jessica begins to ask what is he talking about, she hears something, and she turns back, stating, "Guys?" The Eschaton close in, stating that it looks like the new god made his toys protect him. They shall devour them all. As everyone attacks, Cyborg notices that all of their attacks seem to be absorbed. What are the Eschaton? Darkseid tells him that they are the demons of myth, carrion eaters of the anti-life. It is foretold that they would manifest at the death of the fourth world and devour the last of the new gods. And he being the last of his kind. They have come to end me. But as everyone is trying to fight them, Starfire waits. Darkseid stands up asking Starfire why does she hesitate. Their Green Lantern friend is weak right now, yet she hurls herself headfirst. Starfire yells because her powers cannot be trusted, thanks to him. Darkseid tells her that if that is the case, then your friends will die, you will die, I will die, and you will still have no answers. Time is shorter than I had hoped. There is nothing left now but the truth. Protect me and I will give you the truth. Starfire clenches her fist, stating that her sister trusted him. She, however, is not so easily convinced, but she will not let her friends die. She flies through, releasing her power in a controlled manner, and within moments, the Eschaton are dispatched. As blood continues to pour from Darkseid, he gets up stating that they are but banished. They will return stronger, they always do. Cyborg says that he tricked them every step of the way, he used them. Why should they believe a word from him now? And Darkseid tells him because, in his weakened state, trickery is all he had. Because their kind never trusts him. For the first time in his life, he must deal directly. No more guile, no more lies. Starfire holds up her glowing hand stating, "Good. Explain now." And that concludes issue 7 of Justice League Odyssey. Like I've said before, guys, these videos are going to be 2 to 3 issues long, simply because Justice League Odyssey, just like Justice League Dark and just like Justice League, are all continual storylines, so they have like these weird breakpoints where technically there was like a cliffhanger, but it had some conclusion, such as them just saving Darkseid. Join us every Sunday for the next episode of Justice League Odyssey until we complete this storyline, and once this is all done, I'm thinking about doing Wolverine, but whatever you guys think would be cool to have in the channel. Anyway, thank you so much for your continued support. Don't forget to check out our Patreon. Special thank you to you guys, and special shout out. You are what keeps this channel moving, and you can get early access to a lot of our stuff just by simply going to our Patreon. And don't forget, guys, you can also find us over at Twitch, twitch.tv/Comicstorian, every Tuesday and Thursday, bringing you all kinds of podcast goodness. Thank you so much for your continued support, and I'll see you next time right here at Justice League Odyssey.